Dawn Rhodes. I am the Ranges Program Manager for NAVSEA headquarters for CO5H. Part of my roles and responsibilities are the FORACS program, which is what this project is all about. In 1964, the U.S. Navy Logistics Laboratory entered into a lease agreement with the state of Hawaii for the use of 3 land-based sites known as North, Mid, and South, and submerged lands for the installation of the Fleet Operational Readiness Accuracy Check Sites, FORACS, located along the west coast of Oahu and Nanakuli. The 3 FORACS sites were part of the system connected to FORACS test range that exists in the state of Hawaii's submerged lands, and it extends to approximately 4 nautical miles offshore. The FORACS system was a multi-purpose sensor test range that provided test signals, tracking, communications for ships and submarines. And in 2003, the north and mid land-based sites were closed and restored to original condition. And then in May 2010, the FORACS system ceased operation, rendering the land-based FORACS South Side and Nanakuli Beach Park inactive. The lease with the state of Hawaii ended on 30 June 2014, and all large land-based above-ground structures at the South Station were removed. The in-water FORACS components were left in place along with some of the near-shore side components. So in compliance with the lease agreement between the Navy and the state of Hawaii, and to maintain good stewardship with the community, the Navy undertook an in-water removal project of some of the submerged FORACS components in July 2020. And as agreed to with the state of Hawaii's Department of Land and Natural Resources, the selected nearshore portion of the FORACS in-water infrastructure were removed. The Navy has just completed the removal of the remainder of the shore components, which included the shore components and the utility holes. Now that the operations have ceased at the FORACS facility, the Navy removed equipment and infrastructure to comply with the State of Hawaii lease agreement. And in an effort to be good neighbor to the community by increasing safety for the beachgoers, abandoned equipment such as conduits and manholes could pose a public safety hazard, so removal of that equipment will allow the site to become a natural part of the adjacent public beach park. In-water cables and conduit were removed out to an existing stability anchor at the depth of approximately 8 to 10 feet and 300 feet from shore. So removal of in-water components was limited to the stability anchor and heavy chain to prevent disturbance to existing telecommunication cables that overlap portions of the FORACS cables seaward of this location. Elimination of those underwater cables and conduit provides a safe and more natural swimming environment. The removal of a shore landing conduit and reducing the height of the manhole covers so that colored and textured cement could be poured over them will create a safer and aesthetic environment for the people to use at Nanakuli Beach. The project was separated into 3 phases based on availability of resources and the applicability of permitting. Phase 1 and 2 involved removal of equipment in the water and required a state water quality certificate, as well as a pre-construction notification document for the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Removal of the in-water components was completed by Navy divers within the Mudsu 1 from Joint Base Pearl Harbor. Using the team was the most cost-effective method for the Navy and provided them with a training opportunity. In order to assess the Mudsu's team, the FORACS project had to operate into 2 phases to accommodate the limited availability. Phase 3 was conducted on shore and had different permitting requirements. The shore work did not require state water quality or U.S. Army Corps requirements. However, it did require consultation with the state of Hawaii's Historic Preservation Division. Based on very different regulatory requirements, the shore work naturally fell into a separate phase and schedule. In 2014, the Navy's lease with the ashore and submerged land from the state of Hawaii ended, and the Navy removed all of the shore-based structures. However, underwater cables and conduits remained, and since then, as well as some of the shoreside components. Since then, the Navy has been working to receive the proper permits to remove those cables and conduits. To comply with the lease agreement and ensure the safety of local residents and beachgoers, the Navy conducted Phase 1 and Phase 2 of this project, which successfully removed near-shore underwater cables and conduits about 300 feet from shore in 2020 and 2021, respectively. The Navy just completed Phase 3, removing the remainder of the shore components, which include onshore conduits and utility holes, and restoring the area with colored textured cement. Phase 1 and 2 were successfully completed in 2020 and 2021 with no incident. The work was performed by the Navy Mobile Dive and Salvage Unit 1, MUTSU 1, based in Pearl Harbor. Divers performed the delicate work of removing equipment manually in order to mitigate any damage to the surrounding environment. For example, long lengths of cable were manually cut into manageable lengths and brought to the shore for proper disposal. As part of the Phase 3, the Navy removed the remainder of the components, which included onshore cables, conduits, and utility holes, as well as restoring the area with colored and textured concrete. A shore landing conduit was removed and the height of 3 manholes were reduced so colored and stamped concrete could be poured over them. The conduit trench now matches the height and color of the natural rock surface area, creating a safer and aesthetic environment for the people who use Nanakuli Beach. So since some of the remaining in-water components, including split pipe, conduit, could present hazard to the swimmers, snorkelers, or other water sport users, the Navy committed to removing additional portions of this infrastructure. Because there are corals present on some portions of the split pipe and conduit, the Navy also agreed to remove and transplant corals growing on the equipment before the final removal of the in-water components. So the Navy Information Warfare Center, or NIWC, Pacific Scientific Diving Services conducted the work with the support of the MUTSU 1 and Pearl Harbor Intermediate Maintenance Facility dive locker. The coral mitigation effort included 4 steps. 1 was site assessment and location marking. 2, coral removal, relocation, transplantation, and tagging. 3, coral measurements, photographs, and health assessment. And the 4th phase of that was the follow-on monitoring. As required by the Hawaii DLNR, all coral colonies greater than 5 centimeters in diameter and in good health were removed from the source site and transplanted. The size class represents adult corals with the potential for reproduction and growth. The corals potentially affected by the in-water portions project during Phase 1 and 2 were successfully transplanted in September of 2020 and have been monitored per the state and federal regulations. 15 colonies were removed from the split pipe and 7 colonies and 2 fragments were removed from or adjacent to the conduit. 4 monitoring events were conducted at month 1, month 2, month 6, and at 12 months post-transplant. So coral transplantation is often used to improve reef quality, biodiversity, topographic complexity, or to relocate live coral that could be destroyed or is in poor condition. So this project resulted in the successful transplant of at least some of the corals that would have otherwise been destroyed during infrastructure removal, demonstrating the Navy's commitment to coral conservation, restoration, and environmental stewardship. The Navy's priorities were to ensure the safety of beachgoers and residents, to transplant and save as many coral as possible, and to make it aesthetically pleasing. It's such a beautiful spot here on this beautiful tropical island. So we participated in Nanakuli and WAIANAE community neighborhood watch meetings. We connected with the Kapolei Police Department, posted flyers in Nanakuli Beach, sent letters and emails to Native Hawaiian organizations such as the Nanakuli Hawaiian Homestead Community Association, the Department of Hawaiian Homelands, and the Office of Hawaiian Affairs. And we also attended and spoke with Nanakuli and WAIANAE community and local political leaders via meetings, emails, phone calls. We had information in the community newspaper, as well as in the Navy Region Hawaii Public Affairs newspaper, Ho'okele, the online magazine. We had a couple of articles in there as well. And we also had house-to-house meetings to discuss the project with each Nanakuli Homestead resident. So this project was sponsored by numerous city, county, state, and federal agencies and support staff, all of which contributed to the success of this effort. Some of those included the Naval Sea Systems Command 04, which was the Environmental Directorate, Legal, and of course 05. We also had help from the Naval Undersea Warfare Center Division, Newport, Rhode Island, the environmental group, the Naval Facilities Engineering Command in Hawaii, and also the MUDSU, so the Mobile Dive Salvage and Unit 1 from the Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam. We also had industry partners, many of them. Some of them included the Trident Research LLC, the EST Companies LLC, and the Land and Construction Inc. Our mission with FORACS was to ensure the warfighter was able to protect us and our freedoms, and that we did. So now our mission is to thank the people of Hawaii and the land for their service, and by returning it to the state of Hawaii, I believe we have surpassed all expectations with this project.